You caught something in here. What are you eating, buddy? Oh, hey, settle down. Settle down. Hi. Sit around. Caught some sort of, caught a garter snake, friend. A really big one. Ooh. Let me see if I can set my phone down somewhere. Or at least sit down so I can hold him a little bit better. But yeah, he definitely got into something. And I saw a mouse running away, so maybe it was a little baby mouse. Kind of hard to say. Could be a toad too. Hi, buddy. Now this is a big one. But you can see he's got something in his stomach. Looks kind of like a vole or something. It's kind of elongated. So that's cool. Hopefully it's not a toad, because I like the little toads in the garden. But yeah, this is one of the bigger. I've seen this actually same snake around a couple times this year. But normally we see a lot of small garter snakes. This is probably the parent of a lot of those small garter snakes. Because he's big. I mean, I would say, if you look, it's probably, I don't know, 3 feet long maybe? So that's kind of exciting. Ooh, hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. I'll hold him like this so he's a little happier. Yeah, that's a beautiful snake. And the ones we have in Iowa have this reddish morph to them. I've seen online that they vary quite a bit around the country. I apologize for the noise because they're putting in that road over there and it's pretty loud. But yeah, I just want to show you this beautiful snake. I'll let him go so it can continue doing its thing. But yeah, kind of a fun thing to find. So I just caught another little snake. This one is maybe one of the babies of that big one. Really wiggling around. Let me try to get it. All right. Be free, little buddy. So yeah, happy snake habitat. Now what do I do to actually make this more conducive to snakes? And not just snakes, really all forms of life. One of the things is that I've laid bark when it sloughs off my logs like this. Now I found that there's just all sorts of unexpected life that uses this bark as nesting ground or as ground to hide in, a little more humid microclimate, but they definitely like these bark piles. There's a big one here, and there's also a big one over in the corner where I had a pot. And then in general, the logs make a huge amount of habitat. And so for invertebrates, for some extent for mammals, there's quite a few mice that I've seen run in and out, so like down through under there. Along the edges, you can definitely find a lot of mice tracks. And I think they're synergistic, right? So the mice make food for the snakes, or at least the biggest of the snakes, but they also make holes. And so I think the garter snakes use the holes that the mice make to some extent. And using that same amount of logs, I think just the mulch in general, and now with this compost pile, I have seen, oh, there's the, I wasn't even paying attention, but there's the big snake. It's been just running around. So I think they use these mulch piles, and so see if I can kind of harass it a little bit just to see where it goes. See, immediately it'll start, well, now it's probably a little bit confused by the fence, but it'll skirt around the edge of the garden, probing the edges of the logs, probably finding its way into that pile, which is presumably in the morning, quite a bit warmer due to the decomposition. That's kind of fun. I wasn't even seeing that snake at first. And there's just piles all around the garden. And so I think one of the advantages of using a deep mulch method supplemented with some amount of bigger structures, like the logs forming the edges of beds, and then bordering structures, we have the compost pile, just makes a really rich habitat for the life to come in to the garden. So kind of exciting that we saw both a smaller snake, maybe the offspring of the bigger snake, and then the bigger snake again. So I thought I'd share that with you, and I hope you enjoyed.